guys, how's it going? Hope you're all doing very well. Today's video is going to be a chatty kind of get ready with me video where I show you how I do kind of my go-to summer look, just the look that I've been wearing on a consistent basis, whether that's for work or if I'm like going somewhere. I just find that it's very versatile and yeah, it's super simple as always. So let's jump into it. All right, I'm just going to pin the old hair back. Ignore this email, and I'm going to start off with some L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion. I'm actually going to use the darker shade here. This is the shade 902 Light Glow, and what I like to do with this is just take a teeny little bit on my forehead, my cheek area, and I actually just blend it in using my fingers, and I find that it just gives the skin the most beautiful radiance, and it also adds a little bit of color, which helps my face match my fake tan because I don't put self tanner on my face. Do you guys have a recommendation for a face self tanner? I'm nervous to put a body one on my face, but I would like to so that I can be a little bit more matching than the situation we have happening right here. But you can just see how like nice and enjoyable that product is. And then for foundation, I'm going to be taking this YSL Touche Eclat All-in-One Glow Foundation. I've mentioned this a few times now, and some of you have said you'd like to see a little bit more information on it, so I wanted to use it in today's video. Mine is in the shade B20, and it says right on the back here you need to squeeze the bottle to make sure the pump works properly. So look at how this foundation applies. I don't know if you guys can see it there. It almost goes on like gloopy. And when I first applied it, I was like, what is happening? But like, do not be alarmed. Just trust the process here. So I'm just applying a little bit. But like I mentioned in my last video, this foundation is more of like a tinted moisturizer. It has a very light coverage to it. But for me, I love having it as a light coverage kind of option. And for me, for example, today, I am heading to Toronto. Isn't that nice? It just blends into the skin so it just looks like my skin, and I absolutely love it. But I was saying that today I'm just heading to Toronto for a couple nights. I'm there for work, just for some sales meetings. So I'm just traveling today. I'm just gonna be on the airplane, so I'm not looking for anything too crazy as far as like a skin item. Lately, you guys, I don't know what's up, but like I feel like I can't speak. I don't know, the words do not come to me. I've started actually just taking in the past few days really regularly an omega oil pill because I'm like, I need some help with my brain. But anyways, as I was saying, I don't need a lot of coverage today, and this product is perfect, especially for this time of year. So this is it all applied here. You can see there's still some like imperfections coming through. I can still see my freckles, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. It does have somewhat of a floral fragrance to it, so if that's something that bothers you, you might want to steer clear, but I quite like the scent. So yeah, I've really been enjoying this foundation. All right, and then for concealer, I'm going to be taking this L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Multi-Use Concealer. It's kind of like the Maybelline one that it has the little spongy tip at the top, so you just crank that up a little bit, and then I'm just going to go and kind of paint this on. I will say that it's not as dense, like it's not as kind of firm as the Maybelline one, so this little spongy guy kind of like bounces all over the place, which I don't know if that's necessarily a good or bad thing. It's just different from the Maybelline one, and I guess I shouldn't expect it to be the same. But I've used this concealer a few times and quite like it. I find it pairs nicely with that YSL foundation, just because it again has like a nice kind of like glowy coverage to it. Now, I don't want to lose the glow that I have happening completely, but I am going to set it ever so slightly. This is just the Maybelline Superstay powder in 10 Ivory. So I just take a little bit on a flat brush, and I just ever so slightly bounce that on to my skin. But what I love about this powder and foundation combo is that you could still see some of that luminosity coming through. I really think it's more so the foundation, so just use whatever powder you have, but just apply it ever so lightly. I have worn this foundation without powder, and I just honestly felt a little bit too shiny. Like I like to powder kind of regardless of what I'm doing. And just to make things simple, I'm actually going to take the same powder and just put that around my eye area. On a day-to-day basis, when I'm in a rush, I really don't switch the powders I'm using. If I'm doing more kind of like an event makeup or something special, I'll use like the Dermablend setting powder or the Maybelline Loose Fit Me powder, but in general, I normally just take one powder. So very light layer, but you can still kind of see the glowiness of the foundation, and that's what I like. I'm going to take this L'Oreal bronzer. Wow, it looks very light in the camera here, and it actually is quite light. This is the Glam Bronze Matte Bronzing Powder, and I am just going to load up my brush. And I like look at how dry my lip is. It is freaking bleeding. Back to business, I'm going to bronze up my skin. I really like this bronzer because, like I said, for my skin tone in particular, it's quite light, so I can really kind of go to town. I got a couple questions recently about bronzing, and the whole thing for me, like my poor little lip, the whole thing for me is that I just like to keep kind of this triangle here bright. So other than that, I go hard. I'm just going in. But someone was asking me about how far down I bring it on my forehead. I like to keep a little bit of brightness, just so my skin doesn't look muddy. But other than that, I bring it pretty like just, you know, not too precisely on my cheek area, on my nose, and then I, you know, leave my jawline but go right there. I just think this gives such a natural sun-kissed type of look. All right, I'm now going to fill in my eyebrows. I'm using this pomade from L'Oreal Paradise, but I like to use a different brush. It comes with this little like brush in the cap, but I like to use a more, you know, intense eyebrow brush just because I like to have a spoolie. When I used this in my in a recent video, I said that it was too dark for me, but honestly, I've really been liking it. I feel like it just has been giving a nice sort of frame to my face. Okay, going back to my face, I'm going to take the L'Oreal Life's a Peach Skin Awakening Blush. I got a question recently from someone saying, what are the difference between these two blushes? This is what I bought here in Canada, the L'Oreal Paradise Enchanted Scented Blush, and this is what I bought overseas in Ireland. It's the L'Oreal, or actually this was in Germany. This is the L'Oreal Life's a Peach Skin Awakening Blush. These are so similar. Like, especially the shade that I picked, like, to be honest, once that comment was made, I was like, oh my gosh, I totally should have got a different shade. You can see how similar they are. This one is just ever so slightly deeper, but this one's a little bit creamier. They smell the same. They are so similar. They look the same on the cheeks. So it really is, you know, if you wanted to get this guy when I had first talked about it, absolutely could go for this one instead. But I am going to use the Life's a Peach one. Just because, like I said, this is kind of my go-to summer look, and this is the one I have been using now for quite some time. Oh my gosh, you guys, you're not gonna believe what I did this morning. So like I said, I'm heading to Toronto soon, going to the airport in like an hour here. So I got up quite early to like finish up packing, do a few work things, and I put my contacts in like I always do, and I was sitting here kind of curling my hair, watching the news on my laptop, and I was like, oh my gosh, like these, like I think I need stronger contacts, like these are not working, and I was like, these are so annoying, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to wear glasses the whole time I'm in Toronto, and I don't love wearing glasses, and I was just like, oh man, that sucks. And then I was like, I have to take these out. Like these just do not feel right. You guys, I forgot to take my contacts out last night. I had 2 pairs of contacts in my eyes, which like really grosses me out for some reason. I'm just going to go into the La Vie en Glow palette, this highlighting palette, and use the 2 lighter shades. But yeah, it was very strange of me, and I'm glad that I took them out as opposed to just try to like tough it out, because it honestly, it wasn't like like it wasn't the most painful thing or anything. It just like my vision was kind of blurry. Oh man. Monday morning, I tell you guys. All right, I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit. So you can see my skin here, the base of my face. It just looks a little bit more natural than what I normally do. And I've really been into it lately. Okay, so for my eye look, I'm actually gonna start off with this bronzer. You guys know that I love putting a bronzer in my crease area. And this one specifically is really nice because it's quite light. And I do have hooded eyes, just by a little bit. So I actually like to bring my transition shade up a little bit higher. Like if my crease is right here, I like to just ever so slightly go up, just to kind of make that eye area look a little bit bigger. Did you guys have a nice Father's Day? I spent the day with my dad and my sister, and we went for brunch and then just came back here and watched the US Open. The US Open always falls on Father's Day, and that's my dad's like huge into golf, and basically that's always just how he likes to spend the day. So we watched the US Open here, and it was really, really good. Just like a relaxed day, but I think that's always what he's looking for. And I'm sorry if you are missing your dad on Father's Day. I know that the day can be pretty tough, so if that is your situation, I am sending you my love. Okay, so all over the lid, I'm going into my NYX Love You So Mochi palette. This shade right here is what we're going to be using. Where did it go? This guy right here. It is this beautiful kind of light peachy shade. I'm actually just going to turn the light off for a second because it is too bright to see. So the actual palette here, well, that's quite dark now, but that is the shade that we're going to be using. It's just super beautiful and shimmery, and actually when the light is off, you can also really see the glowiness to my skin. I'm going to just take my finger, and these eyeshadows are very cool. They have almost like a gel-like formula, and they apply super nicely with the finger application technique. So you can see how pretty and brightening this is. This is absolutely just a little gem of an eyeshadow palette. I hope it's still available. And I just think that these apply so nicely. And when I have been wearing this, I have gotten a lot of comments from people asking what's on my lids and that they look so nice and glossy and wet almost. And literally, guys, like, it is like so simple. You could literally be done at this point, and I do sometimes leave it right here, but I am going to do a few extra steps just to kind of really finish the look off. Ever since I got this little peach palette from L'Oreal, the Paradise Enchanted palette, I've been actually incorporating this guy just to make it nice and easy, because as you know, we're going for a nice peachy look. You can see what we have in here. So I'm going to take this matte shade right in the middle here and add a little bit more into my crease. I like to do this after I've applied that lid shade, just to really blend out the edges. And then I take the same shade on just a little pencil type brush underneath my eye. And if you don't have this Mochi palette, you could, my voice is kind of like raspy. You can absolutely use like a highlighter, like a light pink highlighter would look really nice as well. But I just find that this type of pink shade is super brightening. I wore this look actually to brunch yesterday, and my sister and my dad were both like, oh, your makeup looks nice. So that's when you know, when you get a dad compliment on the makeup. For my inner corner, I'm going to take this white shade right here. I had kind of dragged that pink shade a little bit into my inner corner, so I'm not going to use much of this, but just to kind of brighten things up. However, so yeah, my dad complimented my makeup. When I first sat down, he like leans over and he's like, oh, what's this right here? Do you have a bruise? I was like, what? No. And he's like, oh, and my sister's like, Dad, like sometimes we get kind of like dark under eye areas, like don't comment on that. But you know, he meant it in a nice way, but I was like, or not a nice way, but I think he just was like genuinely like, what is going on? And I was like, Dad, come on. I'm going to take some of this L'Oreal Infallible brown eyeliner. You guys know I cannot live without my brown eyeliner. If you prefer black, you could absolutely use black, but I'm just gonna place a little bit of this right against my lash line. You can see it just makes an ever so slight difference. Kinda was not as neat on that eye, but that is the beauty, you guys, of a smudgy liner. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just going to place a little bit extra pink eyeshadow there to blend it all in. And this step you can totally skip, especially if you don't have hooded lids, but I'm going to take the deepest brown shade from the Peach palette here. It's not even called the Peach palette. I don't know why I started calling it that. It's Paradise Enchanted, but it smells like a peach. I'm just going to take some of that liner and just go over top of that, some of that eyeshadow and go over top of that eyeliner just to set it in place, because like I said, I like to do this since my eyes are a little bit hooded. For mascara, I'm going to take this one from La Roche-Posay. It is called the Multi Dimensions Mascara. It is incredible. Just wait and see, guys. It has a rubberized wand on it, and it's just like quite tiny, and so it's nice to get really into the grooves, you know? And there's actually, doesn't that look good? I really love this mascara, but there's actually a lash growth protein in this mascara, which is so cool. So it just helps to keep your lashes stronger for longer. So it basically like creates fuller lashes over time. And I absolutely love that, of course. So especially if you're someone who has like dry, brittle lashes, I think you'd absolutely love this product, because it not only is easy to apply the mascara, it is going to help your lashes kind of stay strong over time. I don't know if you can get this mascara in the States. I'll have to see if I can find a link. I know that they don't, you guys in the States don't have quite as wide of a variety of La Roche-Posay products as we do in Canada, but in Canada you absolutely can get this from Shoppers Drug Mart, London Drugs, wherever, like whatever drugstore you have near you. So there's the mascara on. I love how this mascara provides volume, length, but it also separates. Like, it's just so good. Like, it really is so good. I did get a little fleck right here because I always do. And then for my lips, I've already mentioned how dry my lips are. So I'm going to avoid lipstick. I'm just going to apply a little bit of this lip gloss from Lancome. It's just like this nice pale pink. Honestly, just because my lips can't handle anything else right now. They have been getting better though. I've been using a lip balm also from La Roche-Posay that's like a barrier cream, so it's really helping, but it is what it is. Alright guys, here's the completed look. Super simple as always, but this really has been just what I've been wearing every single day. I do sometimes kind of switch up the lid color. I've applied this one here from this L'Oreal palette, this kind of like purpley one sometimes, but that all over kind of shimmer. I'm in a phase of enjoying a nice kind of glossy looking eye, nice kind of radiant skin, and yeah, that's basically what I've been doing for my go-to summer look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. It really means so much to me. And yeah, I hope you guys are all having a really good day. I will see you in my next video. Bye.